Listen, man, I got to tell y'all this story. So I'm still sitting outside the doctor's office, right? So I picked this lady up and it was like a 25-minute ride to her doctor's appointment. And I just got her out. And I couldn't pull off without telling y'all this story, okay? So it is going to make me late to my next person, but whatever, I got y'all. So as soon as she gets in, bro, she immediately starts telling me all her business. Now, that's no different than anybody else who gets in here and starts talking. I just have a face that everybody likes to tell me their business, right? So she starts telling me how her sister slept with her husband, right? Like, your sister? So I'm like, damn, this is crazy. So it's her baby sister, right? And I said, so do you think your sister always had eyes for your husband? Or she's like, well, that I don't know. She was like, and I really don't care. She was like, because I thought I was in a happy relationship. Now, the lady I picked up is not elderly. Like, a lot of the people I pick up are very elderly. You know, when they do tell me stories, these are stories that didn't happen 20, 30 years ago. This is kind of recent. You know what I mean? Well, semi-recent, you know, but this lady is not that old, bro. Like, yes, she is in a wheelchair, but if I had to guess how old she was, I would say like 45, 46. So she was telling me that she had gotten a car accident and that's why she's in the position she's in. But whatever. So I want to know, was the husband cheating before the accident? Was just always a cheater? Cheating after the accident? Like, give me details, right? So I'm trying not to be nosy, but we already know by nature, bitch, I am. So I'm like, how can I ask these questions and get these answers without seeming like I'm all up in her business, right? So I'm like, so your sister, I'm like, how did that really come about? And she's like, you know what? I'm not even sure. She was like, I said, well, was your sister staying with you and your husband at any point in time? She's like, no, absolutely not. So I'm like, okay. So she said that she did, used to, watch her sister's kids sometimes. So basically the way it goes is, even though Shorty is in a wheelchair, she travels in a wheelchair, you know, to doctor's appointments. She doesn't have to be in like a wheelchair when she's at the house. She does still have some type of mobility, right? But when it's long distance trips, she takes her wheelchair. So, but anyway, so she said when she's at the house or whatever, sometimes she does watch her sister's kids. Her sister has 3 kids, right? And they're all under the age of 10. So she said sometimes she does, her and her husband do keep an eye on the kids because her sister works nights. Now, recently, what what she found out about her husband is he was just acting weird. Like, come on, women, you can tell when a man is cheating, you know, just acting weird. The signs are there, you know. Some people choose to ignore the signs. Other people choose to pay attention to the signs. She's one of those people that chose to pay attention to the signs. So like I said, once again, the late night texting. Never any late night phone calls, only late night texting. Okay. So for some strange reason, her sister was texting her husband at inappropriate hours, right? But she never thought anything of it. It was popping up the sister's name, so she knew that the sister was texting her husband. So she figured it was always something about the kids, because usually when they watch the sister's kids and she works nights, she gets off early in the morning, she comes and picks up the kids, blah 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 blah. So basically, the lady that I pick up, she goes to some type of like water aerobics, like some type of therapy. I'm just telling all her damn business, but she goes to some type of therapy 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. This is what she told me, right? And I've never picked her up and brought her to those places. This is my first time picking her up, but that's usually where she goes. So I told you, her sister works nights. So sometimes in the morning, she, you know, when she gets off of work, sometimes she might go home and go to sleep first for a little while, whatever the case may be. Now that school is out, you know, her and her husband have been watching these kids. So long story short, I don't know why I keep saying that, but the husband usually is at the house with the kids while she's at her water aerobics class, whatever, her therapy, right? So he's there. He does the exchange between the sister and the kids. So when, like she said, when her sister was texting her husband, she didn't really think nothing of it. You know what I mean? But she still had her suspicions because it was all the time. And the reason why she wasn't really tripping about the time of night that the sister was texting the husband was because she works nights. But this is where she started to build the suspicion, because she was like, why is my sister always texting my husband and not me? We both share the equal responsibility watching these kids, but she's only communicating with my husband. So this is when she got suspicious and she put a camera in the house so she could see the exchange between, like, on days that she's not there, because she's not there Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so she could see the exchange, you know, between blah blah blah, right? So she said she didn't want to put a camera in the bedroom because she didn't think that there was a reason to put the camera in the bedroom, because why would they be upstairs in the bedroom, right? So she put the camera angling kind of between the front door, the living room, and the dining room, right? And I thought that's stupid. Let's put it upstairs in the bedroom if you really think something, right? So when she checked the video camera one night or one day, whatever, she saw that nothing was really going on, just a regular exchange of the kids the first time. So she didn't think nothing of it. The second time that the camera was still there, she checked the camera again on a different day, and she saw that the husband and her sister kind of went off into the kitchen. So they left the kids still playing in the living room. They kind of went off into the kitchen. So, but she didn't have the camera facing the kitchen, so she didn't know what they talked about or anything. So she's like, damn. So she repositions. On another time, she repositions the camera in the kitchen, right? That day, the two niggas don't even go in the kitchen. So she's like, damn. So she's like, you know what? This is foolish. I'm not doing this. It's just my suspicions getting to me. There's nothing going on, right? So I'm like, this is interesting. So, okay, so that was that. So then she proceeds to go through her husband's phone, right? And when she goes through her husband's phone, she found a couple of text messages from a couple of females. 2 were co-workers, and then the other one was her sister again. So her sister was like, no, he texted the sister, and the text message said, when you come get the kids on Friday, why don't you stay a bit? I guess because she was just getting the kids and dipping, but he wanted her to stay a little bit. So that's when she was like, okay, something is going on. This is weird. Why is he telling my sister to stay a bit, knowing that I am not going to be home for a while? So that's when she decided to put the camera in the bedroom. She finally decided to follow her intuition. Don't you know that when she checked the camera later on that day when she got home, her sister and her husband were in there fucking. And I don't know why I have a smile on my face, because it's not funny. But what I like to say is the reason why I have this smile on my face is because I am the detective. I am detective of the year. So the simple fact that she decided to go on Amazon or whatever and order this camera and position it in different rooms in this house, like, because she was at a point where she was getting ready to give up. You know, she positioned it in 3 different places, and then she finally got her proof. And I like when women get their proof, because y'all are not crazy. If you guys have this suspicion or this intuition that your man is cheating, whether it's your boyfriend, your baby father, or your husband, 9 times out of 10, shorty, they are. That's what that intuition is. It's not there for no reason. But it does take a little digging and doing your research. And a lot of women don't like to do that, but she did. Handicap and all. She said, oh, I'm going to find you niggas. Now, of course, it's wrong. That's your sister. So I said, well, shorty, what did you do? She said she doesn't know what to do because she literally just found this out. Now, she didn't give me the time frame of exactly when it happened, so I don't know if it was last week or the week before. But what I'm going to say is I got to go back and pick her up this afternoon when she's done here. And all I'm going to say is drop a comment. What should she do? What would you do if you were in her position? Now, I cannot read the comments to her because then she's going to know I posted this video. But if you drop a comment that's interesting enough, I'll bring it to her like, well, shorty, you need to divorce him. Shorty, you know, whatever. They live in a nice, big, beautiful house. He has money, so if she does divorce him, oh, she gonna get half. You know, they've been married for like 25 years, so she gonna get half. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, drop a comment, let me know, what should she do? What would you do? Hell, what would I do? First of all, I'm putting hands and feet on my sister. Just off top, because that's wrong. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, killer, why are you going to turn it towards the female and not the man? Oh, he going to get his too. But I will put hands and feet on her face first. Because, bitch, you're my sister. And then go after the husband. Because, you know, you and your husband ain't blood. You and your sister are. And for those who are wondering, no, her and her husband do not have kids. It's just her and her husband. So she could easily divorce him and really just run away with everything. Because it ain't like they got kids, you know what I mean? But anyway, drop a comment. Let me know, man.